morning. I want to share a really, really important and healing message that I really hope you receive and take to heart on this day focused on love. And that is that I know that there's so much it's sounds so hokey that love heals all and all the things. And when you're feeling deep pain from a wound that's associated with love, whether it's a breakup, whether you did not receive love in the way that you deserved from your caregivers, where you didn't get that unconditional love and attunement, and it leaves this gaping hole in your heart that feels like it can never be filled by anyone or anything. And it's painful, and it leaves you feeling disconnected. It leaves you feeling like you aren't enough, like you'll never be able to get rid of that wound, or whether you've been deeply, deeply hurt by someone, or even from yourself. I understand those wounds. And what I want to share with you is that this last week, I had a really powerful experience that reminded me of the fact that while I have these gaping wounds that felt crippling, that what I was invited into was this crazy realization that what I've been seeking to fill here in my heart for so long has actually been available to me this whole time. I've been getting constant, unconditional love from my husband, and it's always available from the universe and Mama Gaia, always. And I know that sounds like, ugh, but it's been there. And when I shifted into realizing how potent this continuous presence of unconditional love that's been there, in my case from my husband, that I wasn't actually realizing was available to me because I was so focused on what wasn't. And when I shifted into, oh my God, the thing you're yearning for is, yes, coming in this different form. It's not from your caregivers, it's from your husband. But you keep searching for it. And what if you leaned into actually receiving this potent, beautiful, unconditional healing love that's there, and realize that the universe is giving this to you for a reason. It's always been there. That's what unconditional love is too. Even if you don't have a partner, unconditional love accepts and loves you in all parts of you. It is always ever present. And when I shifted into that, being able to actually receive that and feel that and really receive it in my heart, it neutralized and released the pain of what I had been carrying and what I had been fixated on unintentionally. And instead, it released that and opened me up to healing, receiving, and expanding from this really beautiful, true love that is there. And then it opened me up to this idea that, so many of us forget that while we all have our own unique wounds of where we're experiencing pain, we all also have other people, whether and guides and options of where true and unconditional love is available to us, whether it's a friend, whether it is a different family member, whether it's our child, whether it is, like I said, universe, the earth, Mama Gaia, where we do have this ever-present, beautiful love to tap into, whether it's ourself. And when we can actually shift into receiving, focusing on how can I pour love into me? What do I need to do to receive love? What would that look and feel like? And allow our body to really expand into that, even though it can feel so uncomfortable when our body is not attuned to unconditional love, when it is not used to unconditional love. It can feel deeply uncomfortable, and it is the portal to our healing. And so for me, like what feels like love to my body, if I was to do an act to pour into myself, it is softness and slowness. I grew up with a lot of hard and fast and rushing and pushing and having to do, and so that energy shifts me out of love. And so for me, when I want to feel and receive love, it's being soft, gentle, and slow. So my invitation to you is twofold. My invitation to you is on this Valentine's Day. How can you explore where you are fixated on the wounds, but how can you then shift into instead, where can I explore and access true unconditional love via myself, someone else, or spirit? And if I were to work on allowing myself to receive that, what would that feel like? What would that be like? You can access an energy, like I said, softness and slow and gentle, or it might be like making yourself a really nourishing meal, sitting down and eating a square, nourishing meal. It might be allowing yourself to paint and be creative and tap into creativity, because maybe your heart always needed this level of expression and creative flow, and you weren't allowed to. Maybe you were told you were too messy, or maybe you were told there wasn't enough time, or maybe you were told it was silly and it was unproductive. And maybe leaning into that inner child that is able to access the creativity and the play is love. Maybe it's allowing yourself to be in nature and just be with this grounding energy of the earth, and being with the plants and the trees, and if there are birds out or wherever you are, the sun, and allowing yourself to feel that ever-present love and energy that is always there, and being reminded of the beauty and richness that is always available to you. But my question to you is, how can you lean into love today? How can you shift from any pain, any wounds, any places that you have been feeling a dissonance, where you've been feeling pain, where you've been feeling like there isn't love, and how can you lean into love? I would love to share below, please.